Robin Hood, riding through the glen. Robin Hood, with his band of men. Feared by the bad, loved by the good. Robin Hood, Robin Hood, Robin Hood. He called the bravest archers to a tavern on the green. They vowed to help the people of the king. They handled all the trouble on the English country scene, and still found plenty of time to sing. Robin Hood, riding through the glen. Robin Hood, with his band of men. Feared by the bad, loved by the good. Robin Hood, Robin Hood, Robin Hood.
Right, let's put on the cameras and let's close that down as well. Fantastic. Right, so I can press escape on that. Okay, then we're ready to go. So let's do some introductions and say hello. Hi guys, thank you everybody for joining this week of Code Club. I'll start off just to say, as always, you are all muted and your cameras are off. This is safeguarding policies. With that, let's see if I can introduce people to see whether they want to introduce themselves or not. Should we go with you first or last? Let's do you last.
Okay.
Let's do the show. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, we've got Eleanor. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello everyone, I'm Eleanor and I'm a designer at Redgate.
Awesome.
Hand it over to Owen.
Hi everyone, I'm Owen and one of the software engineers at Redgate.
Fantastic. And my name is Dave. I'm one of the tech leads and I am joined also with Tessa, my daughter, who's going to hopefully help me out so we can have some fun. So I am hoping everybody already has the links to the pages. I haven't seen actually I can't even see the chat room. Just let me try and put that up just so I can see where we are with everything. There we are. So we are sharing that. And I think we will also, it's slightly different this one. We need to, let me just copy this. We've also got a slightly different page. There it is. And so you can't use the normal link you would do because we need to have, how would you describe that thing with the target? Actually, if you do archery, they actually call it a boss. It used to be made with straw. I don't know if it still is made with straw. So just let everybody have a few seconds to make sure they've got that and loaded up and they can find it. Okay. Hopefully people have got everything open that they need to have open. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do, sorry, the goal of today, can you actually see, is my screen being shared? Yes, hopefully you can see, but over the red part of the boss or the target is a little circle with the plus inside. Can you see that?
Yes.
That's the arrow. So what we're going to have is that will just move up and down and left and right. And when we press
that thing.
Spacebar. When we press spacebar, we're gonna shoot an arrow or fire an arrow, and wherever it lands will give us some points.
Yay!
Yeah. Just zoom the browser works for me. Let me just see if I have been asked to zoom in. No, the only thing, it will let me zoom in this central part, but it won't actually let me zoom in. Oh, it will do, beg your pardon. I didn't know that. It's because my mouse was over the middle part. Oh yeah, it has a zoom option. Sorry. Right, that's just to make it a bit bigger so everybody can see. So hopefully, oh, I think somebody needs the link again. We'll just give them a few seconds to catch up. Then we'll begin.
Yep.
Okay. So, oops, move the mouse over the wrong things. So you should already have your background of the target, and within your sprites view, this thing called arrow, which is, we can already see the arrow on the target. So as always, when we start each game, what kind of thing tells the game that we're about to start? What do we have to do?
Green flag is clicked.
Absolutely right. So when something happens, now when something has happened, can you remember what we call that in code?
Event.
An event, yes. So an event, the typical thing you don't do, tidy the bedroom, help around the house, that stuff.
No, thanks.
And other types of events could be just waking up, moving, talking. All of these things are events, things that happen to us. Okay, so we need to find the events section. And for those of you who haven't joined before, on the left-hand side, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 circles.
Yep.
And one of those is events. Yep. Can you see which one events is, or see which colour it is?
Yellowy orangey. Let's just
Yellowy orangey. Let's
call
it
it yellow.
I think
to make
it's
it
yellow.
more easier.
So 1, 2, 3. The fourth one down is called events. Hopefully you can see my
Do you know you could have just split it in half?
my mouse on that. So I've clicked on events, and from within this, I'm going to drag when the green flag is clicked, and I'm going to let it go anywhere on the canvas. Yeah. So what do you think is, so if I were to click right now, the green flag, what do you think would happen?
Nothing, because we haven't told it what to do. We
Spot on.
one green flag.
Let's just see if we're right, because we always want to test for me code. So
Yeah.
even a small little thing like this, we test. So let's click on go, the green flag. You were right. Absolutely
Yay.
nothing happened. Okay. And as always, if I'm going too fast, if I'm going too slow, please, please, please let me know. More than happy to speed up, more than happy to slow down. We will probably have a mixture of abilities on these courses, so it's quite difficult to go at the perfect speed for everybody, but if you do need me to repeat anything, etc., please say. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to do this weird thing, still under event, called broadcast. Okay. In this case, broadcast, I think, kind of means get something available for use. Okay. So again, I've still got the events open, which is the yellow, orangey yellow. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th down in that menu says broadcast message 1. There's another one which says broadcast message 1 and wait. We don't want that one. We want the first of the two. So it just says broadcast message 1. And I am going, oh, hang on. I think I may have missed something. Where am I getting new arrow from?
Go from this one.
Just hold on, give me a second, because the instructions say it should be in the option. I have a new message. Can I do this? Let me just see if it will work. Apparently it does. Okay, so I'm going to delete that and do it again. So I'm going to drag this thing called broadcast message 1. And I'm going to get the two to join. Yeah, so we're just going to let the blocks connect together. And within this, we're going to click on new message.
New message.
And our new message name is the word new arrow. Okay. Cool. And then click on OK. I should have selected it. There we go. Okay, just want to make sure for everybody who's doing it that we're definitely doing this with arrow selected. You know, you don't want to have backdrop selected. It has to be the arrow. And you know if you've got arrow selected because it goes blue.
Yeah.
And look, it's here in the top right as well.
Ooh, good.
Okay. So we could have actually used any words here. We didn't have to say new arrow, but if we give it a good name, it means we understand what it means. Yes?
Yeah.
Because we could have said broadcast the words, say any word.
Hello.
Hello, and I'm going to choose the word phone.
Hello.
So we could have said broadcast hello phone, and we could make the game work, but would it be obvious what hello phone means?
It wouldn't. I think we'll just get confused.
Yeah,
and
so do I. I think, does the idea of new arrow make sense? What do you think new arrow means?
New arrows means we get a new one.
Simple as that.
That was
Okay.
an old one.
So actually, for our first code block, that's all we need, just those two things. So we need another event. So if we are broadcasting, yeah, we're broadcasting, that means something needs to get it. Yeah, absolutely. But another word to get is to receive. Well done, you. So again, we're still in the events on the left hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. It says when I receive, and hopefully you'll have a square or rectangular box drop down which says new arrow. Yeah. So far, let's have a think about what we've said. We've said when the green flag is clicked, we're going to broadcast this thing to new arrow, and broadcast is to kind of to message, to broadcast. But we need something which is listening for that broadcasted message. There is no point me saying hello to somebody who's not there, and there's no point me saying hello to everybody who's not listening. Okay.
But it would be not pointless if you were saying hello to someone who was listening and who was there.
Absolutely, and that is what this does.
Okay.
Spot on. So when I receive the new arrow, what we want to do is put it in the correct place. Okay, so we're going to set the arrow's position and its initial size as well. Now, if we want to go to a place, remember?
Now it's in blue?
No, it's definitely blue, and it's this thing called motion.
Motion.
Yeah.
Mountain.
That's right, you tried to remember, it doesn't matter. Okay, motion is the very first on these, and I've just clicked on it. And now let's have a look and see where is the go to. Can you see something called go to?
Yes.
What position is it from the top?
Fifth one down.
Sorry?
Fifth one down.
Fifth one down, you're right. So I'm going to drag that go to X, Y, and I'm going to combine it with the when I receive a new arrow. Okay, so that's the only thing we're working on is when I receive a new arrow, go to, and it currently says X32 and Y minus 32. Actually, we want to put these, say, in the bottom left for now as a starting point. So I'm going to make them both minus 150. And in the Y box, I've just clicked inside that as well so I can type. And I've done minus 150. Minus is also the dash or the hyphen. It's got lots of names, that symbol. Okay. We're going to do one more thing, then we'll have a quick break to make sure people catch up. And do you know what else we should also do?
Set to size.
We have to set the size. Now, what colour is set size?
I think it's on looks.
It is looks. So not exactly the colour, but you're all right.
Yeah.
Oh, Tess, you're not actually on the camera. Lucky people, I guess, but there we go. So look at that. We're even in the same T-shirt.
Just
Right.
different colours.
Okay, so we're going to set the size. So if we click on looks, I think you said, and somewhere we need to find where it says set size to. It's the 10th one down in that list. So you may need to scroll depending on how big your screen is. It currently says set size to 100%. That's okay. We can drop that in.
And connect it like
and-
Lego bricks.
It is, isn't it? But I think at the moment I would like our
Target.
the arrow itself
Arrow to be nicer.
to be bigger. So
So
instead of being 100%, what do you think it could go to?
200%.
200 would make it twice as big. Yeah, that's cool. But actually I want it to be really big. I want it to be 4 times. So guess how much, guess what the number of percent would be?
400.
It is going to be 400. 400%, correct, yes. We don't need to type in the percent. It's already in the code block. So quick thing, let's have a look. So as soon as that as soon as the green flag is clicked, we broadcast within the game that there's a new arrow. We won't see that because it's a way of the game telling itself or something else, something is happening.
Yeah.
And when we receive this thing called new arrow, we want to move our arrow to the coordinates -50, -50. So that means bottom left, but we're going to make it bigger. So if I click on this,
Yep.
do you think it's going to work? I'm going to just test the code because we always test. Wow.
Whoa.
Started there in the bottom left. Do you think that's bigger?
Can you move it?
Wait.
I wish I could.
No, you can't move it yet.
But we will be, right?
We will be, well, we won't be moving it actually. We'll program it can move, but that's going to be part of the fun.
And then we get to move it. After, of course, we've done all this, then we can have our own
So-
time for moving it. Let's see if that's
What we need to do
Mhm.
is we are going to now allow this, the arrow, the grey circle with the plus, to move around fairly randomly on the screen. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, that means, and do we want it to move just to one place and be there?
No.
Or do you think we want it to keep moving?
Keep moving.
Yes. And in order to keep it moving, how many times do we do it? Do we do it once?
No. Forever?
We do it forever and forever and forever. So let's find where is forever. Now, if I said do something forever,
It's control.
it is a control. I think it's control. Let's find control. 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th one down that list.
And it's the orange one, not the orange and yellow one, even though it's supposed to just be yellow. Very
This
confusing.
does look more orangey, but then variables is also quite orangey. But yes, I know what you mean. I think if they'd used a red, it possibly would have been easier, but maybe it's hard for colourblind or just hard on the eyes. I don't know.
Maybe
So-
they just think other people are weird if they say it's orange and yellow.
Don't think so. Okay, so let's go to the 3rd one down, which is forever. And I'm going to drag forever underneath the set size to 400%. So now this block is when I receive a new arrow, go to X -150 and Y of -150. set the size to 400%, and then we have a forever block. So at this point, it's going to keep going over this thing over and over and over again. Yes? What do you think it's going to do over and over and over again?
Nothing.
We haven't put anything in yet, have we? Now, what we don't want to do is for our arrow to just jump randomly. Yeah? We want it to be nice and smooth.
Like a guy?
We want to glide. That is right. Now, glide, again, is a motion. Well done you. It is a motion. So I'm going to go to Motion tab, and I need to find glide. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, we have 2 options in 6 and 7. We want to go with the 7th, which is glide 1 sec 2 x minus 150 y minus 150. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's in the 7th position. We're going to go, and we are going to drag that into the forever box. We should really call it a forever loop, because when we program things which happen, it's called a loop. That's what we know them as.
It doesn't look like a loop, because a loop will go round and round.
What do you think forever does? And
goes on forever.
And look, in the very bottom of that block where it says forever, you've got the little arrow going back up to say, go back again, do it again.
Okay.
And within programming, we have lots of types of loops. We have for loops, for each loops, while, do while, until, I guess. But for now, this forever, which is essentially a while loop in many popular languages. So we want to glide. We need to choose some random positions. Okay, and to tell it where it needs to be random is called an operator. Can you remember what colour the operations are?
Green.
Green. So I'm going to click on operators on the left hand side again. And I'm going to try and find the one which says pick random. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4 in position number 5. That's right. So position 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick random 1 to 10. Actually, we're going to need, how many of these do you think we are going to need?
2.
Yeah, we're going to put 1 into which box?
X and 1 Y.
Yeah, spot on. Okay, and we can see with the motion box we've just dragged in, they currently both are set to minus 150. So I'm going to drag pick random 1 to 10 into one of those boxes. And look, as I get near, can you see
There's
it?
like a little circle around it.
Yeah, it's kind of highlighting it. Yep. So I think that's all we need to do.
Another one?
Right. Oh yeah, Y. So we do have to do both. So pick random 1 to 10. That is looking really, really good, but
Long.
sorry?
Long.
It's a little bit long, yes. In fact, let me just drag that. Oops, I've got too many things open there. Okay. I think we should probably be wanting to use the full screen here. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we should pick a random, and we want to start on the x-axis, right at the very, 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 very left-hand side is minus 150. Okay. So if minus 150 is on the left, guess what's on the right?
Add 150. Or is 150?
Correct, yes, plus 150, but you're right, we can just type in 150, spot on. And you know what, we can do exactly the same with the y. So y we can have as minus 150 to 150. Okay, let's give people just a second to catch up. Again, from too fast, too slow, please let everybody know or anybody know. If you do have questions, as always, drop them in the chat. I possibly should have said that 30 minutes ago.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or
whoops. If you do have problems, do put them in the chat. Alan and Owen are there to help out, as always. And I think we should test it.
Yes, we should.
Yeah. Do you know how to use my special mouse to click it or not?
Well, that's very hard.
It is, isn't it, that mouse? Almost.
Go.
That's it up. Oh.
No, go down there.
Wait
down
for it.
there.
It's not going to do anything else. Okay, so it's bouncing around.
Wait, is that? Oh no.
Will you relax? It's bouncing around randomly, which is good. I think that's a bit slow.
Yes. And also it doesn't go on the target, but
It
unless
did?
like yeah, it does. But then you have no time to shoot or anywhere to shoot.
Oh, we haven't told it how to shoot yet.
Okay.
So I think we need to speed that up. For me, that's too slow.
Yeah.
So let's have a think. In the forever loop, we're saying every second, go to a random place.
Mhm.
And because it's glide for a second actually means keep traveling to that place for an entire second.
Mhm.
I think what we can do is speed that up. And actually, to speed that up, the glide, you would think saying 2 seconds would make it faster, wouldn't you?
Yeah. But
It slows it down. If we do 2 seconds, it will say take now 2 seconds to get somewhere. Or 10 seconds says take an entire 10 seconds to get there. We
so
want
we
to be
have to go 0 seconds.
almost. It's got to be between 0 and 1. Actually, you've been doing some decimals recently.
So 0.5?
Yes, 0.5 is in between. So let's try that. 0.5. And in fact, this is a way you guys can make this game easier or more difficult. Maybe 1 second is about the right level. If you're not a very experienced computer gamer, that may be okay. Let's see what 0.5 seconds looks like.
Oh,
Ooh,
it's so fast.
there's slow and there's fast, isn't there?
Yeah.
That seems to be quite nice.
Just not going in it yet.
Okay, what would happen if we just change that to, how fast do you think we could get to?
0.1.
0.1. I think that's going to be too quick. I think I'm going to struggle with 0.5. Should we test it?
Yes. Oh no.
Wow. Okay, yes, that's too fast for me. I'm going to keep it at 0.5, which is also what the game suggests. Okay, so now we have to start shooting.
Mhm.
Okay. So at the moment, I think the 2 code blocks we've done are pretty much complete. So as such, I'm just going to drag them up there and there, so they're kind of out the way.
Yeah.
So we need yet another code block. So what's actually happening? That means for the arrow,
Mhm.
we have lots of different ways we are controlling what's happening with the arrows. Because think about it, as soon as the green flag is ticked, we broadcast this message, new arrow.
Mhm.
That's all it does.
Mhm.
But we have this other thing which says, well, when I receive a new arrow, go to this position, set the size to 400 times, and start moving it randomly on the screen.
Yep.
They're very separate things, and therefore they deserve to be in separate code blocks. Now we've got to think about our interaction. So we're going to use the space bar,
Yeah.
okay, to say when the space bar is pressed, do a thing. So when the space bar is pressed, does that sound like a sound?
No.
Does it sound like a motion?
Event.
It is an event. When we hit or press the space bar, we have done a thing. It is an event.
Mhm.
Okay, so let me find the events on the left-hand side. There it is. And this time we're looking for when the space bar is pressed. I can see it. It is the second one.
Mhm.
Let's drag that somewhere onto our coding canvas or our block canvas. Maybe I'll just call it canvas. I don't know.
Or building blocks or Lego blocks.
I'm thinking about what the white background thing is called.
No.
I don't know. That'll do. Okay, so when the space bar is pressed, so at the moment, if I run the game again,
Mhm.
can you see it's moving all over the place.
And when the spacebar is pressed,
Yeah, what should happen to the arrow?
stop moving.
It should stop moving, yes?
And
Yeah, absolutely. We want it to stop because that's the point we would want to fire.
yeah.
We don't want the arrow to be firing and still randomly moving because there'll be no skill. So therefore we have, but that means we have to tell this block of code up here, let's call that a script, to stop doing what it's doing. Yes? I don't know why Visual Studio Code keeps telling me that. Okay, let me drag that over there. When space is pressed, we want to stop all of the other scripts executing. Now, at the moment, can you count how many scripts do you think we currently have?
3.
Yeah, we've got the first with the green flag. The second is when I receive the new arrow. And the third one is the one we're just starting. So what we have to do is we need to stop all of the scripts on this sprite. So I stop all the scripts on the arrow. Now, if I say stop doing something, what does that sound like?
Controlling it.
It is controlling it. 100% right. So guess which category it's under?
Control.
Yeah, exactly that. So control is, are we calling this orange today?
Yes.
Yes, good. So I'm going to click on orange. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think it's the 8th. It currently says stop all. And I'm going to grab the stop all. It's quite low down because it's at 8th position. And I'm going to drag that
Underneath that.
into here. Yeah? But we don't want to stop. We could actually say stop all, but I think, let's see what our options are. Oh, we could stop this script, or do we want to stop another or other scripts?
Other.
We do, because if we stop this script now, then nothing can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other scripts in the sprite. So remember, our arrow is what's known as a sprite. All of these scripts which we have, and as you quickly said, there are 3 of them, are all scripts that apply to this one sprite. So now what we have to do is test it because we've added some new code. So I'm going to press the stop button. You can take the mouse. So if you play with the green flag, yep. How are we going to get it to stop? We're going to press. So let's see what happens when you press it. It stopped.
Does it unstop? No.
It doesn't unstop. No, so clearly we've got to write some more code.
Yes.
But at the moment, it's doing what we are hoping it would do. So at the moment, we've got our arrow like this, yes?
Yeah.
Now, as we shoot the arrow and it gets further and further away, what do you think should happen to the size?
It gets smaller?
Yeah, absolutely. If I were to show you this pen and let you look at it close, does it look big or small that close?
Big, but then
As I move it away, is it going smaller and smaller? Yeah, and that's what we need to do as well. And we're going to do that by repeating something a certain number of times. And it looks like it's suggesting 50.
50.
Yep. So the repeat, if I tell you to repeat, what kind of thing does that sound like?
Control.
It is control. Oh, we're already in control. This is lovely. So we can find the second one down, which is repeat 10. And I'm going to drag that and drop it underneath the stop. Yeah? So when space key is pressed, stop the other scripts, not this one, the other ones, and repeat something 10 times. What do we want to happen 10 times? What do we want to do?
Change size.
Yeah, we want to change the size. Now, changing the size, that will change the way it
looks.
And looks is the category we need. So the second one down is looks. And I'm going to find change size by. The 9th one down, there it is. And I'm going to drag change size by inside that repeat block. Now at the moment, What number are we changing it by?
Yeah.
No, what number?
10.
10. So what's going to happen if we keep making it change by 10? What's going to happen to the size of our array?
Big.
But if it goes away,
Big.
what did we want?
Smaller.
So as such, if plus 10 makes it bigger, what do we need to make it?
Take away.
To,
Take away 10.
yes, so minus 10 is how we would say that, but you are right. Yeah, this is brilliant. So we've just done some code. Yeah. So because we've done some code, guess what we have to do next? Go on and have a go. Let's see what happens. So if you want to press play again.
Use your mouse.
Yes, it's a difficult mouse. There we are.
No, come on. Yeah.
Oh, it shrunk a tiny bit, but not very much.
I didn't get it in the right point.
You didn't. You're going to have another go in a second.
Yeah.
So the game suggests we move this to a 50. So what I've done within the repeat, where it said repeat 10, I'm just going to change that number from repeat 10,
50.
to repeat 50, if I can type 5 and a 0. You ready to have another go?
Yes.
Let's see what happens now if you press spacebar.
Wait. Come on down.
You missed it.
Oh, that's
Wow, that became very
looks
small,
like, almost like
but that looks
weird.
pretty good. Okay, let's give everybody just a second to make sure they can catch up if they need it.
Dad, did you teach archery?
Yes. While we wait for people to catch up, it's a good time to ask a question. Before I became a programmer, I did spend a little bit of time really teaching. Well, I taught the crossbow. So it's a bit like bows and arrows, but instead of the bow, it's a crossbow. Yeah, that was sadly quite a long time ago. Okay, I still have a crossbow.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know because it's under lock and key to keep it away from you.
That's nice.
It's not even in the house, to be honest.
Yeah, is it in my grandpa's?
Quite possibly. Yeah, or it could still be in the archery club. I don't know. Been
I
a
thought it
long
was in
time.
my grandpa's because I saw it.
Cool. Okay, so you could be right. Let's crack on. What we now need to do. Can you see where you happen to press the space bar? What colour did it end up on?
Like greyish, and it looks almost
Yeah,
like,
dark grey or maybe black, one of the
it
two.
maybe looks like an arrow, except for you can't really see the arrow stick.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I mean, what colour of the target did it hit?
Black.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So actually, we have to do some scores. So I don't know what, I can't really remember what the real scores are. Not that it matters. We're going to have some fun, make up our own. What do you think is worth more points? Getting it right in the middle of the gold or getting it right in the middle on the outside? What's worth more? Absolutely.
Yellow.
We call it the gold, but you are right, it's yellow. So now we need to detect if its ending position is touching a certain colour. Okay. Now, in order to do touch, this is called sensing. Yeah. But we can't just sense the colour. We have to now work out which colour. So let's just pretend the gold is worth 200 points.
Yeah.
And the red is worth
100, and then
150, then 150, and then 0.
Yeah.
We'll repeat the scores in a second.
0 is when you get it outside it.
Actually, 0 is the white part as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Cool.
So what did we say? What? How many points was the gold worth?
200.
So how would we tell it? It's 200 for gold and 150 for red. How would we say that? Do you know? How?
Gold, no, not the colours. If
Yes.
gold.
Yes. If gold.
If gold.
That's amazing.
Then.
Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what we have, and we have that in all of our real code as well. So when we're doing C#, whether we're doing JavaScript, Java, etc., etc., if then is a classic thing in almost all languages. So we are going to have to find if. So if this, then do that. What does that sound like to you? Yeah, it is. We need to control the flow of the program.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're going to control.
We find control, and we've got to find the one called if then. There it is. Now be careful, because there's another one underneath which is actually much bigger with the word else. We don't want that one. We want the simpler one. So it's just if.
Then.
What shape is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hexagon. Yeah, I think it is. If hexagon shape, then.
Maybe something goes in the hexagon shape.
Totally right. And that's the sensing we were talking about. So if we go back to sensing, we haven't been to sensing yet. So if we find sensing on the left-hand side, we can, it's the second one, the touching colour one.
Oh, it's purple.
It is purple. We're going to change that though.
Aww.
And just like we did with our pick random, we are going to drop this into our, look at that. Do you see the colour change?
Yep. It
As
has
we
a white
drag
ring
it
around
over,
it.
it does.
And now it makes it longer.
Yep. So now for, I think we're going to start with gold.
Yes.
We're
gold's
saying,
the best.
yep, if we hit the gold,
Mhm.
then, oh, hang on, that's not going to work. That's not gold. Look, what
It's purple.
and we said
That
gold.
purple.
So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the purple once, just a single click. Yeah. And then we get this new menu appear.
Ooh.
Now, to try and guess the exact color gold with all of those sliders, yellow with all of those sliders, would be really difficult. But we can cheat.
What
At
can
the bottom, there's a funny little symbol. Do you know what that symbol is? No idea?
No.
In some programs, it will be called an eyedropper, but the idea is it will detect the color from a picture. That's what we want. So I'm going to click this bottom icon here, which is, it almost looks like a sword in a icon of a picture or something
Wait,
else.
it looks like one of those things where you drop stuff in your eye, but
Oh, an eyedropper.
I should have. And then it's like this little box, and then you have to like drop it in the box to fill up the medicine.
That'll do. However, we're going to click on it, whatever you want to describe it as. Now when I click on it, the whole screen goes grey other than the picture. And if I move the mouse over the picture, it should maximize the area I'm looking at. Look at that.
Oh, go on then. Go on to the gold.
That's
see if this is
exactly
a good
right.
target.
Now, if you look around the circle, yes, what colour is around the circle at the moment?
Whatever colour it's pointing on.
Yeah, so can you see the little square?
Yeah.
That's what you want to touch the gold, and you'll know if you will because the circle around will go gold. So if I make that little square go over the white, what colour do you think the ring will be?
White.
Yeah. If I move the little square over the black, what colour will
Black.
Oops. Yep. And blue.
Blue.
And this is where you have to be careful because in between, it's blue. But if there's red. But there's grey there. So we need to make sure we are right in the gold.
Yellow.
Yellow. So I've clicked. There we go. And now I can just click in the background on the white space, clicking here or here or here, wherever is good. So gold is an amazing thing. Yeah. So I think two things should happen. I think the first thing is we need the crowd to cheer.
Yay!
Pretty much. If we want the crowd to cheer, what category do you think that comes under?
Sound.
It is sound. So on the left-hand side, I'm going to click on sound, and I want to just start the sound. It's this second one down. Start sound, cheer. Cheer has already been loaded for us. Okay. We're going to do one more thing before we test it. We also want to message somewhere that we've just made 200 points.
Like maybe like in a little corner or something. Which corner?
Well, this is a bit weird because to say something you would think would be sound, but as you said, you wanted to put it in the right place.
Yeah.
Well, if we can see it in the right place, that's not sound.
It's luck.
It is look. Looks.
It's
So
luck.
there we go. Yeah, and I think what we need to do is the very top one. Say hello for 2 seconds. We can drag that in. How many points should we give them? How many does it say? Suggest.
It goes 200 points.
So in that box, I'm going to type 200 points. Okay. I'm not going to do much more. Let's just do that for now. So we've done some code. What are we going to do now?
Test.
Go on then.
Let's see if I can master this mouse.
It's not an easy mouse, is it?
Nope, it's not.
Well done.
Right.
So how do you fire?
Come on, just give me some points, mister.
Come on. Unlucky. So let's see. Oh, I think we clicked something else by mistake there. Okay. That didn't give us any message at all.
No, because we haven't not blue.
Sorry, we hit the blue. Yes, it's not what.
Yeah.
Not
Yellow.
gold. Yes, it's
Yellow.
not gold. Not yellow. We only put this code in if we hit the yellow. Well, that's really difficult, but we'll go with it. So, can you fire another arrow?
Okay.
Do we really have to restart every time? That sounds a bit rubbish. We should really be able to just shoot one after another.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Now, how do we shoot another? We can't. So, how do we make a new arrow appear?
We make it a We broadcast it.
We broadcast it, yeah? Yeah? Can we just broadcast? Well, yes, we can, because we have this script here, which is always listening. When I receive a new arrow. So here we want to say, hey, broadcast a new arrow.
Well, we've already done
So
that.
I'm going to, yeah, we did that when the green flag was clicked. But now we're also going to do it right after this. Yes? So now, if I press play, we've got there.
And
Look at that.
oh, wait, it's
We
nice
now
one.
have arrow after arrow after arrow.
Come on, get in the points. So close.
Okay, so what we're now going to do, I'm going to press the stop button.
That was actually pretty good.
So the next thing to do is try to work out how would we get different scores. Well, actually, the way we would do that would be following this if block logic and repeating it lots.
Like 3 times or something?
Well, for each colour.
I can say 1, 2,
So
3.
I'm going to go a bit quicker now.
Okay.
I'm going to go a bit quicker now. What are you doing to my keyboard?
I'm trying to shoot. I'm not.
I've stopped it now. So I'm going to drag another if block in. I'm going to put it there. I'm just going to move this broadcast box out of the way because it's going to be a bit of a pest. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to sensing. I need to find the touch and colour. There it is.
And change it to the colour, so we have to do that thing again,
Which colour do you think we need next?
we need red. Yes.
There's red. We don't need a cheer this time. We just need to say the points. So I'm going to go to looks.
25 or something.
And I'm going to say 150
Points for
points.
you. 150 points for you.
I think, and I know I'm going a bit quicker now. Let's repeat that again. And you guys can do this, in your own time. I just want to be able to make sure that you've understood what we were trying to do, because I don't think there's much guidance on this on the web page itself, there's not. That's why I want to rush, so you can at least see this. You can, of course, take a screenshot as well, or ask your parents to use their camera to take a photo of the screen if that helps. Okay, so then we can go to sensing. So we've done the gold, we have done the red. What's next?
Blue. And it's yellow, by the way.
Okay, do the same thing. Click on that, choose the blue. And then we can go back to looks and we can say 100 points. Yeah?
100 points for
that.
you.
Up, there we go. Back to control. Another if statement. And it goes at the bottom. Back to sensing. And this time, what colour are we interested in?
We're interested in the black.
Oh, I forgot to click the. Excellent. Looks. We'll have 50 points. Let's do one more for the outer as well. Oops.
And then how about for the white one? It could go 0 points. Okay.
We could pay, a very cruel kind of computer thing where it laughs at you.
0 points.
Yeah, exactly that. Okay, I'm just going to, actually no, I won't do that yet. We're also going to say something for 2 seconds. Let's say 0 points. Let me do a sad face emoji. Emoticon. I used to know the difference between the two, not that it matters for now. And I'm going to complete it with let's have a new arrow. Is that good?
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's give people a few seconds to catch up, but because we've done some code,
we need to test it.
We have to test it.
Mouse. Come on. No, come on down.
Remember, it's just testing. We don't need to have the high score. So let's see what score you got. 0 points. You got another go? 50 points. Well done.
Go. 50 points still. No!
Oh, have you got exactly on the middle?
50
No,
points.
fine. 150. Okay, so thank you.
50 points again.
You better play this later on. It's okay.
Yay.
Okay, I'm just going to zoom out slightly there, just so everybody can see where we're up to with this. Oops. Let me just drag this down slightly. Hopefully everything's just about visible. Okay, we've got about 5 or 6 minutes. I think we could either put a random balloon or we could actually get it to score. I'm thinking the random balloon we may not have time for. Let's try and make it actually keep the score.
Yeah.
Okay? So in order to do that, we need to create a variable.
Okay.
So over here, under variables, which is on the left-hand side menu, second from the bottom, we're going to create a variable which remembers the score. Now, a variable is just a thing which remembers the value of something. So if I said, remember this person's name, and I say, hey, what were they called? You wouldn't say name, would you? So if I said, remember the name Bethany, just remember the name Bethany, and I said, hey, what was the name? You would reply,
Bethany.
Yeah, you wouldn't say name, would you? Okay, so we need a variable which will remember the score. Now, to make it useful, we need to name our variable something, well, useful. I would call it score, absolutely right. So I'm going to click on make a variable. I'm going to type in the word score.
And then we write.
But I'm going to actually say, no, for this sprite only. Okay? For this sprite only. And look, it appears over here.
Yay!
So I'm gonna go a tiny bit quick because I said just a few minutes. So when the game starts, yeah, when we have a new game, what should the score be?
0.
Always 0. Yes, we have to start with a 0.
It has.
It has at the moment, but after we've added a score and we start the next game, it will continue from the previous game. So therefore, we need to reset it.
When green flag
Gone when the green flag
is clicked.
Yes. So that was this script up here.
Yes.
So when the green flag was clicked, we need to set our score to 0.
Yeah.
So I'm still in the variables tab. I can drag that in. Yeah. So I should say to everybody on the course, in case I haven't, this doesn't occur either. This is beyond even what this challenge wants us to do. So it's just a nice thing if you wanted to play along or not. So we're going to set it to 0. Yeah. And then all we have to do is within each if statement, we just need to change the score. So I'm going to drag that into here. Now, when we've got the word say, how many points?
About.
Can you see what it says?
200 points.
So therefore, we need to change our score by,
200 points.
of course, it's got to match. So guess what? If it's red, it's 150 points. Guess what we need to change our score by?
150.
Yeah, that's right. And if it's blue,
50.
no, not quite if it's blue.
Oh, sorry, 100.
Yep, absolutely right. Now, it wouldn't matter which order these two go in. I'm going to try and keep it the same just so it's consistent.
No, 50.
It makes it easier on the eye. Okay. Change score by 0. Oh, in fact, I don't know why I've done that one. We don't need that, do we? Because we're not actually changing anything. So we have made a change. Yeah. Well, actually, we could change it. We could be really cruel and say if you don't get anything, you get the white. Instead of getting 0 points, we'll take away your points.
No.
Too cruel?
Too cool. I'd rather just go.
Let's have a go.
Okay, let's. I'm also the green flag. Oh, no, I didn't.
Okay, so our score is at 0.
100 points.
There we are. Our score's remembered. It's at 100. We don't have forever, sweetie.
Oh.
We can play more later. Go on, quickly. There we go. So 3 arrows and you've got
I've got
what, 400.
250. Yay!
Okay. It would be quite nice to limit this to 3 or 4 or 5 arrows. 6 is actually what you would typically do.
I got 400. Nice.
You do 6 at once, and in crossbow, they're called bolts, not arrows. You do 3 at a time. However, let's do that really, really quickly within 2 minutes. So again, at the end of this, I'll leave the screen on with all of this up so people can take screenshots and photos. But I think what would be really cool is if we can somehow limit the number of arrows per round. Okay? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So I think we need another variable, again, for this sprite only. And I know I'm going quick. And this is the number of arrows fired. Okay, that's what we want.
So we want arrows fired.
Just call it arrows fired. Now, we often don't use space in our words with variables.
Ooh, okay.
Just the way we type them. And we've done a capital F so we know where the new word starts.
Okay.
Okay. Uh-oh, arrows fired. Actually, that could stay up there. Then you know how many more goes. We can make it toggle on and off by clicking the check box. We'll leave it on for now. Okay. And like the score, when we start, how many arrows do we want to have fired? 0.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, within our main script, which is the sizing and the scoring, this is where we need to work out how many arrows have been done, how many arrows have been fired. So I think we need to change arrows fired by 1. I'm going to put that, it doesn't really matter, somewhere at the top. I'm going to put it there. So when the space key is pressed, stop the other scripts in the sprite, change the fired arrow by 1. Yeah? And then lastly, because we need a way for it to realise we've reached the maximum, I'm going to just move the broadcast out. I've got a minute to go. I'm sure we can do this. And I'm going to drag this if statement in underneath.
And put
Put
that.
this back into the else.
Yes, else, and then quickly.
So under the operators, we need to see if it's 6.
Okay, now we're going to turn it into 6.
So I'm going to say 6.
Then,
If what is 6? Arrows fired. That's the variable.
it's fine.
So I'm going to drag that in if it lets me. Yep, it does. And when that is, we want to say game over
Game over, say game.
or round over would probably be nicer. And then we want to stop all the scripts. Yeah. Do we need to stop all the scripts? No, we probably don't. That may be it. Let's see what happens if we press play. So 1 arrow,
100 points.
2 arrows,
100 points. 150 points.
okay,
100
and
points.
almost the gold.
150 points. Again.
Okay, and there we are. So 6 arrows. Let's see what happens on the screen. Round over.
Yay!
So now the game stops. So we can remember I had 650. Now when we press play, you can have a go. However, what we're going to do is, what's the easiest way to make sure that all of this is visible for as many people as we can? Can I change anything here? Because we are now out of time. That's not going to show me the game, is it? No. I'm hoping everybody can see this. If people want to take a couple of screenshots, I'll move the code around a tiny amount. This should be, it's all been recorded, and I would imagine it will go up on the Redgate YouTube channel as well. So let me move the code down to the bottom so you can see that last part. Fantastic. Okay, so I know today we got a bit crazy and sorry, my landline is going. There we go. We went a bit off topic at the end of that. I think that's okay. I hope you enjoyed it all. I hope you all have had lots and lots and lots and lots of fun. Thank you to everybody for attending these. Best of luck to everybody's return to school. And that's it for today.
Bye!
Okay.